All right. Whenever you are ready, my good sir.
I got you. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mind of a Storm Chaser. I'm back again with Mr. Eli Hill, my editor. And before you say anything, buddy, how are you doing today?
Oh, he finally asks me how I'm doing without me prompting him. I am doing all right today, good sir. It is a Sunday, 1st of December, as of the time we are recording this. Not to date the episode or nothing, but yeah, that's what we're just chilling out on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh yeah,
recording our podcast.
I mean, I'm in PJs.
Yeah, he's in PJs. I'm no better. I'm rocking the Spider-Man fit pretty much. The blue sweatpants and the Spider-Man shirt, honestly.
At least you're not wearing your watch out, I'm a hugger shirt.
Yeah, with a giant hole in the side.
I know,
of it.
right?
Yeah. And everyone thinks that hugger is a completely different word than what it actually is.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Today, we're actually, I'm taking over.
Again.
The jack-o'-lantern. So I have, I'm going to look up some, basically today is I'm looking at different storms in media, and I'm going to show it to Mr. Weatherboy right here. And we'll see how he ranks on realistically.
Okay. I'm
going to try and look for stuff you've seen. So we'll see how that works out. I'll probably look up like the most obscure thing, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that storm is a F-43 tornado. You know, it's 40 million jet engines going around.
Oh God. Okay. And then
that's why Texas is no longer a state. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And while I look for different stuff, we can commune.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing?
Man, working and just trying to get through this slum or like this little lull of severe weather. We haven't had much in the past couple of almost all of November. We didn't have anything. Well, let me not say that, because me and Cole did get out there and chase. I want to say November 5th. And yeah, we did that because that was when Eli called me, and we got lucky on a tornadic supercell. But other than that, it's been really quiet. And
besides it being freaking cold as, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's cold now because it was scorching hot.
I'm not. My new job, I have to be outside for like 8 hours a day.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you worked with me, you would understand why I said it sucked being outside, especially because cars were on, so they're exhaust.
Yeah. Plus you going in and out of a building.
Exactly. I got sick multiple times because of temperature, just rapid temperature change.
I don't doubt that. Just the constant rapid temperature and the fact that you're sweating and then you go inside a cooler building, you get so cold, especially if you have to go in the freezer.
Yeah. So
that's why I hated football on cold days because I would sweat, but it was so cold I would freeze. Yeah. So I was hot and cold at the same time, which is not a fun mixture.
No, not at all.
Because my body would have goosebumps, but my skin would be so sensitive it'd be rubbing up against like the football pads and stuff. Oh my God, bro. Yeah. It was the worst thing. Yeah. But I have pulled up the first example. Okay. And I will include, since it's the special video version today, I will be including pictures and everything of what I'm showing him. Okay. So the first example I have is actually the first one I thought of was The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I'm assuming you've seen The Wizard of Oz at least one time.
Of course.
I want to ask how realistic this tornado is of The Wizard of Oz, and I will include the image that I'm showing him.
It's pretty good depiction of an actual tornado IRL.
This is in the fields of Kansas.
Yeah. So very realistic. The flat plains of Kansas. So like Western Kansas for sure. Nice tornadic supercell. I mean, cone-shaped funnel, wall cloud above it. Not bad at all. Really realistic.
What kind of based on like these images, what kind of like tornado like class would you say? F what? Like,
let's see. So definitely older, I'd say. So it would be with the older Fujita scale. I'll give it, because it did do a lot of damage to the house. I'll say like an F2, perhaps.
It also picked up Wicked Witches, and it did pick up a whole house.
It did pick up a whole house.
So
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I give it because it solely because of the house. I guess I'll give it an F3 or 4. I won't give it a 5 because, I mean, just yeah.
So this is actually where we can both show our expertise.
Yeah.
Because I went to college for filmmaking and everything. Get out of here, Kat. I went to college for like filmmaking and stuff. So I know some behind the scenes of how this works. So the fun thing about how the Wizard of Oz tornado was created, it's actually, if you see it in motion, like you see, I believe this is realistic. Basically the top funnel and the bottom funnel are like moving like separate from each other. Sort of.
Sometimes.
Let me see if I can pull up the a short clip of it. Okay. Without audio.
I can somewhat give you a audible description of how in-person tornadoes work. So sometimes you will see kind of like dynamic movement, the snakiness or like tentacle like behavior to the tornado. But most of the time you're really not going to see them tendril out like that. But I will say, yeah, it is somewhat realistic, and we've seen some tornadoes with that. Let me see.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So it's sort of moving on the top and the bottom, and it's not like it's completely separate, but
yeah. So like, especially with this type of tornado motion, it'd be a lot more because it looks rather erratic, and that would be seen in more. It'd be seen in smaller tornadoes for sure. So like the cones or the ropes for sure. So like the skinnier tornadoes.
I was about to say this is a pretty skinny one.
Yeah.
So the cool thing, and this is based off of my memory, which I could look it up, but hey, let's YOLO it, right? So basically, what is happening in the terms of filmmaking is it has it's two separate layers. The whole tornado is made out of carpet. It's basically since it was all black and white, and you couldn't really tell, at least for that section, you couldn't really tell. But it's basically made out of like this fabric that it's not actually spinning since it's so far away. There's a top layer where someone is on top of like a catwalk or something, moving back and forth, and there's a bottom layer where someone is moving back and forth, and they're working together to make it look like it's moving congruently, and then some dust clouds and everything in the back. So as a filmmaker, which if people watch Corridor Crew, they did an episode on this talking about the tornado. It's apparently it was like no one had known how it worked for the longest time until like recently or something, which going off of my memory, I could be completely wrong. But that's just a really cool one in filmmaking instead of just being like, oh, it's all CGI,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a pretty cool at least background on how some of those practical effects back in the day were made.
I gotcha. Okay.
All right, and I do have another one.
Oh no.
Sticking into the Wizard of Oz universe, we're gonna go with Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh God.
Now this movie I have not seen it. I haven't seen it. The last time I saw it was when it first came out.
Okay.
So I have no. I remember it being way bigger than the Wizard of Oz one. So let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah. So he's basically in the hot air balloon, and I believe it's still in Kansas. I'm not 100% sure. Take a look at that.
Oh yeah, much bigger, thicker cone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would still say realistic. Granted, you wouldn't be able to be near a tornado in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah. So that's not the most realistic, but I will say in terms of the tornado and the storm itself, like overhanging, the storm overhangs in this shot, like the anvil part. You can't see the wall cloud, of course, because it's off frame. But yeah, definitely the only thing that's unrealistic is the hot air balloon because of the turbulence around tornadoes, or like the rising and sinking motion. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So
it's just like it's just way thicker.
Yeah. bigger, as people will say. Exactly.
100%.
Absolutely.
I was trying to
wait.
No, I was trying to stick to the Wizard of Oz universe at the moment because the Wizard of Oz was the first one that came to mind, and I was like, oh, Oz the Great and Powerful also has basically the same exact thing happens to him. So I just thought it was a cool little thing. Now the next one is from a movie that I haven't seen, but you have seen.
Okay.
So I have no idea how this actually looks. It's gonna be from Twister, the first Twister movie.
First one. Okay.
The first one.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I have not seen this movie. I've not seen the new one either. But
that'll change.
I believe this is the first one.
Yes. Yes. See, now in the cover, much more realistic, but throughout the movie, each individual tornado is somewhat. I'm not gonna say each individual one, but most of the tornadoes shown, which is I think like three or four, but I know the cat. But yeah, most of them show the tornadoes being very high based, which in a severe weather outbreak, especially with the conditions that were shown in Twister being like mega outbreak, mega, like craziness, most of the tornadoes being high based like that, compared to the cover, a little bit unrealistic in terms of like outbreak when you're expecting large, damaging, violent tornadoes. You'd see those wall clouds like protruding, almost ground scraping wall clouds, especially towards the end, because the mega wedge that's shown, it's very high based, but it's also pretty cool to see like a wedge in that way. So yeah, but that tornado for sure on that cover. Granted, you can't run away from a tornado. It'd be very windy, but
well, get ready for the next image I'm about to show you, which is from Twisters.
Okay.
And this is two people just standing there and watching.
That one looks like it's okay. So I've watched this one specifically because, or I've watched both, but this specific scene I've seen like 1,000 times, and them being this close, but also like they're farther away than you think. But yeah, same thing. It'd be windy, super realistic, because the wall cloud, I mean, you could see pretty much on screen, and I mean, super like nice dust cloud underneath. A lot of imperfections about the funnel, which is very, very true. Not every funnel of every tornado is going to be the perfect cone or the perfect stovepipe or like the perfect rope. It's going to have its impurities. So like you're going to see some thicker parts.
Guess what? It stopped recording.
Did it really? When did it stop? Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody. I just realised that it stopped the recording via the mics. So you are hearing via our tablets?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We just had a little hiccup.
Actually, while we're talking about this, I'm going to make sure that no technical problems have occurred with my tablet. It's still going. Okay, cool.
Good. But yeah, we had a few technical problems.
You're just going to have to deal with tablet mics for a little bit, for like a couple minutes.
Just a couple seconds, which it's okay. I have the best editor in the world. I would like to think so. So I'm just saying, I'm trying to make sure.
I'm the best. What? Huh?
You're the best editor.
If I was the best editor, our short film would look way better. Would be way better.
Okay, listen. From where you were then to probably now.
Well, that was like
that was 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't. It was almost 2 years ago. This upcoming would be 2 years.
That's right.
But yeah. So
yeah.
We all make mistakes.
But yeah. So where I was the we were talking about the Twister tornado. Or the Twisters tornado.
Yeah, where they're standing and just watching it.
Yeah. It's so that photo of Kate and Tyler, or Glenn Powell, and I can't remember the girl's actual name. So yeah, but Kate and Tyler standing in front of that rope tornado, or that really, really small tornado. That goes to show that tornadoes aren't always a perfect cone or a perfect stovepipe or, a perfect rope. They have their impurities. Some are thicker at the top. Some are thicker towards the middle or towards the bottom. And that just goes to show the dynamic features about twisters in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that shot was very realistic because that's pretty much almost chase by chase is what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
Except if the chaser is far away. But if you're really up close like that's a realistic shot for sure.
How far away were they?
I'd say about a couple 100 yards. The tornado seemed like it was weakening then, so they could get up real close. And they chased on a low risk day anyway. Mm-hmm. So the tornadoes that day weren't supposed to be strong regardless. So the wind field around them was going to be more so towards a tight area.
Okay.
So, and even if it was strong,
turn around and face you.
They still would have been, I'm not going to say small, but they would have been on the weaker side because of the lack of the ingredients on a marginal setup. Mm-hmm. So for sure, that's a realistic setup for sure.
Look at my boy knowing all these tornadoes. Now I'm looking at.
Oh no.
So there, for those of you who don't know, but most of you probably do know, there is a category of film called disaster movies. And there's one that you might have heard of. Okay. I've never heard of it. Into the Storm.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen it before?
Absolutely. The Firenado? Yes. So from a supercell, absolutely not. It has to hit some sort of explosive, or not explosive, but like something that would explode. And like,
I think it's the cars. It's right over cars. So they've exploded.
Okay, so the cars are on fire. So yeah, of course.
That's what it looks like, at least.
It'll take in that fire, which granted a bunch of wind, as you said, oxygen, to keep that fire going. So yeah, it'll transition into a firenado for a little bit, but due to dynamics and everything, water vapor, eventually everything will subside and it'll go back to a normal vortex.
Now, also in this image, how realistic it is to have 3 tornadoes that close to each other?
Somewhat realistic, but it's very rare. Very, very, very rare. And they wouldn't all look the exact same like it does in that still.
Yeah, they do pretty much look almost the exact same.
One would probably be bigger because it's the main vortex, and the others would probably be either subvortices, which are little mini tornadoes that rotate around, or another tornado spawned by the same mesocyclone.
Would many vortices be coming out of the big tornado, or they would be forming beside it? Would they? Because when you say like there's a main big tornado and mini ones right next to it, makes me think it's like this big tornado has just tendrils of tornadoes coming out of it. Okay,
so I'm glad you said that. So you have your main mesocyclone, which the big tornado, because if it's like that, there's going to be one main tornado, and that main one, which I think it's the one that's on fire, which is the firenado, that one's going to be the main one. And then you have your 2 off to the side of it. One of those could be an anticyclonic tornado, or it could be part of the same mesocyclone. When I say mesocyclone, it's your bigger, like the wall cloud, part of the thunderstorm. You could have multiple tornadoes in the same general area from the same wall cloud / mesocyclone. Or you could have dual mesocyclones or dual wall clouds. So what I mean by that is you have one wall cloud that forms, and then you have another that begins to take shape farther east or back to the west of it. So you could have your main mesocyclone, which is anchored always on the south side of the storm, and then you have one maybe a little bit farther east towards the forward flank, which is the little curved area before you get to the hook.
Okay.
So you'll have another one form off of that. So yeah, you have a chance of seeing maybe 2 or 3 in the same general area. Granted, it's very rare because the main tornado is going to take up all of the energy.
Mhm.
So those other two may be weak. Now, granted, there are some secondary twin or even triplet tornadoes that take over and anchor to the actual main mesocyclone, but it just depends on the ingredients that day, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So
I got a real good one for you.
okay.
Real good one for you. It's not what you think it is, I swear.
Okay.
Let's just say we all enjoy comic books.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I as you can see, Spider-Man. I got the Soul Stone around my neck. Which people are like, why the Soul Stone? I got it randomly. Okay, it's not the one I wanted, but it's the one I got.
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't get to choose; it chooses you.
Absolutely.
So I like comic books,
Okay.
and I like comic book movies as
Okay.
well. I am willing to suspend my belief or whatever
Okay.
about how realistic some things are because it's a comic book movie.
Okay.
But if you were to look at this image that I'm about to show you and rate it just based off of how realistic it would be,
Okay.
why don't you go ahead and rate that?
Oh my god. Fantastic Four, really?
Yeah. This is from the very first Fantastic Four movie when Johnny Storm goes supernova and he surrounds Victor Von Doom.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Okay.
and the Invisible Woman is like containing it in like a force field, and the thing is looking. It's just standing there like, whoa, Johnny Storm, you're going, it's clobbering time.
Oh my God. Okay. So, of course, Hollywood, for sure. But,
And I want to be clear. I just want to give you the scientific facts about this tornado that Johnny Storm is making.
Okay.
It is earlier established in the movie. Johnny Storm can go so hot as to be as hot as the surface of the sun.
Yep.
Which is, really, really cool if you're a comic book fan. But if you're a real life human in the Fantastic Four universe, it's probably not going to be as fun when suddenly out in the middle of New York City, he just blazes on and goes as hot as the surface of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how much Invisible Woman is making a force field around it,
it's going to be hot.
It's going to be freaking hot. So I'm surprised Victor Von Doom survived that despite being made. I mean, I know he's like made of metal or whatever.
Even then, metal has
even though he's not made, as far as I know, he's not made. I guess in the first one he was turning into metal.
Okay.
But like it turns out it was like a suit or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fully 100. I'm not fully 100% sure. But let's just say if you if you were anywhere close near the surface of the sun, I feel like you would just spontaneously combust.
Yeah. It's
you just
instant vaporization.
Or you would just start melting like immediately.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that fact in there for, for scientific reasons. So now, Jai, how realistic would it be?
Absolutely not. Abso-freaking-lutely not. No. just no.
Firenadoes do exist.
They do, but they do not reach as hot as the freaking sun.
I would hope not.
No.
I feel like if firenadoes got that hot, we would probably have been dead. Quite a bit ago.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I will say, if it's a large area, of course, the fire would continually burn and get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. But it's not surface of the sun hotter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
plus we discussed this, it would need, most firenadoes form in forest fires because the winds are so strong and obviously there's a lot of fire already there and it has enough fuel because of trees and everything to keep sustaining itself. I doubt it would get a lot hotter. It would just be as hot as like a fire on the surface of the sun.
Yeah. No, granted, from far away, to be honest, because heat from a fire can actually travel really far. Granted, just depends on the wind because, like you said, it's not going to have a long while to last if the fuel source is cut off. So you place a grove of trees and a fire starts. Nothing else is around it. That fire is going to go out really quickly, really, really quickly. So, but
without a fuel source, even if it has oxygen, it's just going to, at most it would like flash fire.
Yeah.
And just whoosh.
Yeah.
Like, so if like you're in a burning building or whatever and the fire's inside and you just open a door like suddenly and just the rapid of oxygen going in would just flash the fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's glad to know that Johnny Storm going as hot as the surface of the sun is unrealistic. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I would hope it would be.
That's another one. I was just like, what are some other movies that or something? I'm trying to think of different movies. That's why I was like looking up disaster movies and everything.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can.
There's a specific one that I can think of right now.
Of a disaster movie? I'm trying to
ish movie.
I know exactly what you're thinking of. And trust me, we'll get to that.
We're not talking about Sharknado.
You don't get to make that call. I'm the one in charge here.
Well, I was going to suggest Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, first of all.
That is a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, let me pull up that spaghetti-nado.
The spaghetti tornado.
Cloudy. Dude, that movie is so good.
It is good.
It's such a good movie.
It is good.
So yeah, so if let's say I'm a scientist and I send the Flinistifer up into the clouds, how realistic it is if it starts snowing ice cream? If it starts raining down steaks, what would you?
I would like to say that that's very unrealistic, unfortunately, because I would love for it to rain food.
Yeah, except for when it freaking lands on top of you.
I know. Especially a big old like sundae.
All right. Now I'm going to ask this first. In terms of shape, how realistic is the shape?
Oh, very, very realistic. Very realistic.
So like it's wider up at the top, and
if it's a cone, absolutely. Wider up at the top. I mean, it's got the classic mesocyclone above it anchored, and yeah, perfect in terms of shape.
Now, let's say I got a bunch of spaghetti together. Let's say that just randomly I had Mr. Beast type money and I boiled a crap ton of large spaghetti noodles.
Okay.
And I threw them at a tornado.
Okay.
Would I be able to make a spaghetti-nado at that point? Or
on a minuscule scale, for sure, you'd be hitting people in the face at over 200 miles per hour.
That's
noodles.
Way bigger than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah. It is massive. Which, that's why I said that shape is just gorgeous.
I was about to say, that's like the standard tornado shape.
Yeah.
Plus, it's got the curve and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And it's doing a lot of damage at the bottom.
Now, that's a lot of... someone was very kind to put a reference tornado next to it. Well, this is actually kind of realistic, guys. This is actually kind of realistic. So. You know, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, my favorite disaster movie. Especially the second one where they turn into creatures. I'm gonna cut the cheese. That was the cheese.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. And
I love it.
Unrealistic.
I had it on. Well, duh. I would hope that wouldn't be realistic. I was not expect. Trust me, the last thing I would have expected to be like, so actually, if we were to do this would actually be kind of realistic. You can start doing spaghetti-nados, you know?
No.
Start snowing ice cream.
We already are close with ice cream. All it needs is just cream.
Honestly. Or no, that would be more like a snow cone.
That would be like a snow cone.
So if it just gets down, it starts snowing like red, like it's fruit punch flavored. Everyone's like, it's snowing blood. It's snowing.
Then you see a green one.
It's the end of times.
What's that meme of the guy going? He's touching the sky and it's just going back in time.
I have no idea. It's not Doctor Strange.
No. I can't tell you.
He's summoning the ice cream.
Okay.
We can't stop him.
Oh God. Peak.
Okay, I wanted to move away from tornadoes, at least for the next one.
Okay.
I was gonna look for I know exactly. This is from a show that
Hi, ESPN.
your fantasy football league is actually doing really well today, Jai.
Oh, my Ravens are. I don't even want to get into that.
All right. Yes. This is from a silly little show that I've seen called The Flash.
Okay.
Now, The Flash is a CW show, for those of you who don't know. And let's just say they don't have the most money for CGI. But I will say The Flash is the best one, I think, in terms of them having good like effects and CGI and stuff. Sometimes it looks really bad. For those of you who know the double flash moment in season 2. But there's some good ones. Now, actually, The Flash also, the first episode, does have a tornado, which I can look. Actually, it's right here. So this is formed by... It's not the weather wizard. It is one of the first episode is one of the brothers that can like make storms and stuff. So this is the tornado for the first episode.
Okay.
For context, there's a dude in the center of it that's causing the tornado.
Okay.
And the Flash is running opposite of it to, counteract the tornado and try and dissipate it. So how realistic is that? That is a mini tornado, by the way.
Okay.
That's like 2.5 barns stacked above each other.
Okay. In terms of like, because especially with it being at night, it looks nice. Nice cone shape, but
Cat, I have fed you. I have watered you. What more do you want?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't look half bad, to be honest. Now here's another picture of it.
I do have a question. So their scientific way to describe how he dissipates it is he's running so fast counterclockwise to the tornado that it dissipates it. Would that work?
No. You need much more of an external force,
he's got the speed force.
To think about it, because when you run, of course, you give a wave of like cold air past somebody. So what I'm thinking is what they're saying by this, which it's in the fine print probably of the way that they say this. But yeah, him going opposite directions, of course, that cold air, which let me stop saying which. It does, in fact, dissipate your tornado because it cuts off that warm, moist air feeding into that tornado. So when you have too much cold air, oh, man. No!
Storage is full.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. We're having another technical difficulty.
Storage is full.
Yeah, it's okay. But
you have to manage that,
it's fine.
man. Now we're only getting me.
Okay.
And now the cat's freaking out, man.
Cat is freaking out. Okay. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back after we figure out this kerflunkle.
Good. We're back, everybody.
Sorry about that, guys.
After some technical difficulties, I knocked over some pop figures as well. So
it'll be fine. Deadpool will be okay.
He can survive. He's got a healing factor.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about the Flash.
Oh, the tornado being realistic or not?
If him running around it, fast in the counterclockwise fashion is realistic.
No, absolutely not. So,
okay, I do have another one from the same thing from the Flash.
Okay.
So this is the brother of that first guy who caused the tornado. He is causing a giant tsunami to hit Central City. I believe there is a GIF that I can show you.
Okay.
Of him. Basically, a giant tsunami is about to hit Central City. And what the Flash does is he's running back and forth so fast he's creating a wall of wind to hopefully stop the tsunami from hitting the town.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here is an okay image of what the tsunami looks like.
Okay. So not very big.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like. But
this is farther out.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Let me see if I can get the good image of him running back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, right here. So basically, that's him running back and forth and trying to stop it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, of course not. That's just a lot of force from that water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Water compared to wind has much more force. Or like in terms of like,
well, yeah,
for sure.
Liquid would be, it's just more physical than air.
And then the pressure, like especially, but that's also the deeper you go with water. But like, water has a lot of pressure behind it and a lot of force,
especially a wall. The only way I could think of air having more pressure if it's super condensed in one area.
Yeah,
where you could like blast through water or something.
Which is why running on water, like you have to create such a difference between you and the water in order to like stop it. Hey, Kat, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's just cleaning herself at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Hey, stop it.
But yeah, you'd have to create a lot of opposing force in order to stop that, or like even negate it.
I think in the show they said that he would need to run 300 or 600 miles an hour, something around there, to actually run on water. Because in that episode, he's running away from basically a nuke.
Oh, I know what this episode is. Okay, yeah.
So he's running from the blast of a nuke.
Mm-hmm.
And in that same episode, he runs on a vertical surface up a wall as well.
Mm.
So
that's even. I mean, that's even faster.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah,
okay.
So we're not here to discuss the physics of the Flash. We're here to talk about weather and how realistic it is in media.
So yeah, of course, unrealistic, but a cool concept, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that they do in the Flash, like in later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So in the second season, he learns how to throw lightning.
Yeah.
But in the later seasons, he I don't fully know how he does it, but he throws lightning and then steps off of the lightning that he's throwing to walk in midair.
Huh? What?
I don't fully remember how it works. In the comics, he's able to run on clouds.
I can see that
because he's running so fast. He's freezing a certain point on the cloud because it's all water or whatever.
Yeah,
it was either him or Quicksilver. I don't remember.
Probably Quicksilver.
But comics and speedsters are kind of weird.
Yeah,
that's a whole other.
Let's not talk about Marvel speedsters either, because that's atrocious. I don't even want to get into that. Anyway,
are you talking about Eternals?
Yes, absolutely.
Which actually, Eternals is probably one of the more realistic speedsters in media.
Yeah.
Not Quicksilver. At least not in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And X-Men, it's cool, but in Age of Ultron, it's a
R.I.P. Quicksilver.
Look, I'm a defender of Age of Ultron, but even I'm
yeah.
Why didn't he just move him out of the way?
Yeah. So
you didn't see that coming. All right, let me look up some more. What is your, if off the top of your head, what would you say is your most realistic tornado or weather event in media? It could be animated, it could be TV show, it could be movie. What would you say is the most realistic?
The actual Discovery TV show Storm Chasers, of course, does not count because that's literally IRL.
Well, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. You know it.
TV show wise, there's not much.
Yeah, I had to pull the Flash out of my butt to try and remember.
Hold on. There's one episode on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. That yes, I know.
Was Zach and Cody or On Deck?
I think it was Zach and Cody. It's not On Deck.
Tornado?
Yeah. The only reason why I know is because I had this dream when I was younger of that exact same event happening.
So I think you're thinking of the two-parter on Sweet Life on Deck where they redo the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Which that whole episode was weird.
Oh, I know.
I haven't watched Sweet Life on Deck in a hot minute. Probably until it ended. This was the last time I watched it. So I'm watching other stuff with the Sprouse twins. Like Cole Sprouse has been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Riverdale.
Oh, really?
He was in Riverdale. He was in a movie last year, I believe, where they like went into space or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then Dylan Sprouse he owns a brewery or whatever. But he was also in a audio drama for a old creepypasta. Or not a creepypasta. Do you know r/no sleep?
Yes.
So it's a very popular subreddit where people can go on there and make their own horror stories and everything. There was this really, really good one called Baraska. Read it if you want to not feel good about the world. It's funny. There's certain parts, but in part 4 specifically, for those who know, it gets
a little.
It leans on the human aspect of horror, not monster aspect.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. But
they did an audio drama with Dylan Sprouse as like voicing the main guy.
Yeah.
And it's made by Wood Elf. They've made a bunch of good like audio dramas like Markiplier's The Edge of Sleep.
Yeah.
Which I love. But yeah, you let's just say when I after I'd finished part 4, I had to like
it's not for the faint of heart is what you're okay.
It made me like uncomfortable.
Oh.
It made me like so, and I don't get uncomfortable with stuff.
No.
I can watch any Saw movie while eating just tons of spaghetti or something and not feel sick at all. But like the things that were in it made me uncomfortable. And so the author went on to do a bunch of cool stuff. Like they wrote for The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
And so going from r/no sleep to writing for a TV show,
an actual good. Okay.
is really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So read it or listen to it if you want to feel bad. At least to part 4, that's when I feel bad. Like, bro, I am just something.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was like, after I read it, I was like, I need to go. I was shaking. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, oh my God. So that's just me personally. So give it a read or give it a watch or a listen if that's.
I think I may have to invest. But I will call you immediately and be like, Eli.
Part 4.
Help. After
part 4 is when, or at least that's, I don't know how the episodes of the audio drama, I haven't listened to the audio drama. I listened to Creepcast, which is a separate podcast than reading it. And the actual writing is in part 4. I think the episodes are longer. I think there's like 8 or 9 episodes of the audio drama. So I don't know when that turns out. But you'll know the moment I'm talking about if you listen to it.
Okay.
You'll definitely know the moment I'm speaking about.
Spotify?
Huh?
It's on Spotify?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I asked.
You didn't have to hide
Yeah, it's on Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on Spotify.
Okay.
It's on YouTube as well.
Okay.
So you can. Okay. But anyway, let's get back to weather and not about some very, very depressing things. Let me think. How long have we been going for?
Almost
like 40 minutes,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I think it's time. So
for the big one?
Yeah, I think it's time for the big one.
Oh God, okay. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, you should at this point. The audience should also know where this is going at this point. Should we just rip the Band-Aid off?
Sharknado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, boy.
First things first.
Okay.
I want to talk about the covers.
Okay.
I want to talk about the movie covers of this.
Okay.
Because oh my god, Sharknado 5.
Let's see. Hold on. For you guys that
No, I'm gonna put the image up.
just what? just him with a what even is that? It's just here we go.
I don't know. That's not another chainsaw.
It better not be.
Oh my god.
Or it might be. It might be.
He's
Oh my
holding it
God.
really weirdly though.
Oh my god.
I just saw that at a passing glance.
And then there's dragon sharks, which
Sharknado 6? Or was that in Sharknado 5?
I think that was in 6.
But yeah, let's just talk about the. I mean, do we even need to?
We don't. Enough said. Enough said.
Let me see if I can pull up what it looks like in the movie. Oh my god, that looks horrible. I'm just looking at some of the effects. And,
Oh, the CGI.
yeah, these
Yeah.
sharks look horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Buttons. Ugh. Oh my goodness.
That's where the
and
brother.
where and where does how does it even go into space?
The tornado was so strong
It flung a shark all the way up into space, and then he jumps in his mouth with a light. That's a lightsaber. That's what it is. A chainsaw lightsaber. I genuinely do feel like crying right now. I will say though, the tornadoes themselves in Sharknado.
I'm trying to look. It keeps just showing me the covers. It's not actually showing me what it looks like. Oh my god. The scene where he jumps into
I
the
know.
shark's mouth.
Yeah. Into the dark abyss.
Oh my gosh. You don't even need to watch the movie. Watch the Nostalgia Critic video of Sharknado. That is they will talk about the freaking amazing effects and be way funnier than I could be. Oh, I'm trying to
I blame you. This is what you got. You finally talked about Sharknado. Can we leave it alone now?
No. Sharknado is getting its own dedicated episode. It is getting its own dedicated episode.
Oh my god, no.
At some point, if we get if enough people ask for it, we're watching all of them.
Oh my god.
We are watching all of them.
Fine.
And then we'll make a tier list.
Fine. This is me saying this, studio audience. Yes.
At some point,
can watch
if
Sharknado.
there's enough demand, we will watch every single Sharknado movie.
Every single one. I'll shake on it.
We got it on camera. We got it on camera.
I crossed my fingers. I crossed my fingers. No, don't listen. Do something.
No, I'm forcing you.
Nah, it's okay.
At this point,
Yeah, I know.
I can't even find images of the Sharknado.
If you've watched it, you've seen the tornadoes on there, and I will say they do look they look good. Granted, most of them are skinny ropes or cones, not much else. They chose those because they're the quintessential perfect shot.
Oh my god.
So-
Listen to this. The first Sharknado movie has a 3.3 out of 10 on IMDb, but a 77 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on, I gotta see if that's audience score or if it's critic score.
It's better. It's probably audience score because of how funny it is. That's the only thing.
Wait.
Okay.
It's the opposite. The critics scored it a 77 and the audience scored it a 34. What is this? What? Critics consensus: proudly, shamelessly, and gloriously brainless. Sharknado redefines so bad it's good for a new generation. I don't even know if it's so bad it's good. I think it's just bad. You want to talk about a so bad it's good movie? We can talk about Zombievers. That was a fun movie to watch and make fun of. You can ask Lukas. We watched that for his birthday one day, and oh my god, it was the funniest thing.
I'm genuinely pissed off.
Well,
I'm genuinely pissed off.
We've shown quite a bit different tornadoes and everything. How would you say you feel after this encounter?
Sharknado did it all for me. I feel great. I feel absolutely jubilant.
I just remembered one, and it's from an animated TV show.
Okay, come on, lay it on me.
And it's from a show I'm pretty sure we both have seen.
Okay. Thankfully, we're not ending on Sharknado.
I think that there was a big tornado.
Okay.
Let me just make sure. Yes. We have both seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking of Sandbenders.
Okay.
There are quite a bit of actually like tornadoes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the Sandbenders, I forgot. They never made like a giant tornado. This is how they got around the desert.
Let's see.
By making like the tiny little tornadoes and everything.
Yeah.
Which I would assume they could just push against it. Well, they're not. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I never understood. Sandbending is either an offset of earthbending or airbending.
Yeah.
Aang is the last airbender.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, these are all types of earthbenders, the sandbenders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is kind of like airbending.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's more of their like moving the tiny little earth particles in the sand to make it like a tornado
so rapidly. Yeah.
But it just looks like airbending.
Which, okay. So what it is, so from what I see also is that the way that they do it, their motions are also similar to airbending with how fluid they are.
Mm-hmm.
But also, this is of course scientific. Sand is just particles, just ground up like stuff. So in dust. So it really doesn't take much. And they just rely on the ambient air around them for oxygen to make those little sand or dust devils is what I'll call them, because that's what they are, dust devils. So I guess, but I mean, the tornadoes on there look really nice. Granted, they're
animation. Animation is just you can. It's not limited by. It's the only limit is your imagination with animation. You can literally make whatever you want, and that's why I think it's a really good medium. And I feel like that's why I like audio more than I do strictly video, is because with audio you don't have to worry about visuals. It's you rely on people's imagination for how it looks. So that's why I really like audio dramas and everything. You can make it more realistic with sound effects and everything, but it's all about how the people think about what's happening and envision it. Yeah. So, but animation is the same thing, but for visuals. Yeah. That's literally all it is. I was trying to find the swamp episode. Okay. There's just a giant tornado that sends them into the swamp. Trying to find it. Because it was honestly kind of just random. Why a random tornado just sent them down into the swamp. Let's see. Yeah, this is what it looked
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, that's still, I mean, granted, it's like, it looks like a boomerang,
Mm-hmm.
but, and it's kicked out a lot more. But I mean, again,
Come back, boomerang.
yeah. Which, I mean, it's a nice looking tornado for sure.
Good.
It doesn't look stormy though, but
Yeah.
it could just be like,
I think that's a benefit because the air benders in general can like make whatever with it
without
looking like it's clear skies.
Yeah. So
honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
ending it off on a better note than Sharknado.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up whirlpools.
Honestly, I couldn't really think of. I don't really know a bunch of whirlpools in media. Like, only thing I can think of is I don't know,
like pirate movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Shoot, what's the? Is it? I guess it is a whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one in Pirates 3.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Yeah.
Where they're fighting Davy Jones.
Okay.
And like the ships are in a giant whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could stop, like, if I could actually type properly, this would actually be way better.
And then I know there's some, only reason why I said whirlpools, because as a kid I used to watch Octonauts. And there were a couple in there. So I needed to watch Octonauts. Off of that little Disney Junior TV show. The viewers probably know what I'm talking about.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, you weren't a kid. Sorry.
I was watching good shows.
Like what?
Like I didn't really watch animation. the only old animation I can think of is like Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Okay, but that was good though.
You know what I did watch? Wow Wow Wubs.
Yes. Yes.
And fun fact, this is I honestly I guess this is a superpower at this point. I can recognize voice actors so well. Wow Wow Wubsy was voiced by Azula from Avatar.
Are you serious?
Yes. Same person.
Wow.
Either no, wait. I might be getting it confused with Tara Strong, but I don't think it's Tara Strong. I think it's Azula. Who?
Well, who was Korra? Korra was
Wow Wow Wubsy. Yeah. I think. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Grey Griffin.
Okay.
Is the actress. It's not Tara Strong.
Okay. So I was like, wait, because Tara was also in Avatar.
Because she also voices Catwoman.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So she was Azula.
Okay.
I remember all these things. But yeah, I would watch. It was this old network called Noggin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Noggin and Noggin Jr.
I think that turned into Disney Junior.
It did. No, because Noggin was bought out by Nickelodeon entirely.
Was it Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was Nick at Night. Yeah, Nick at Night is what it turned into.
But there was this my favorite show was called The Upside Down Show.
Yeah.
And it was these two comedians that were basically like just do random stuff and like they would do finger people in battles and everything. And they still do stuff on TikTok. You've probably seen a clip of them doing like a comedy show or whatever. But yeah, it's what I grew up with.
Okay. I resent my statement then.
Yeah, I watch TV shows.
Shut up.
Make me.
Oh, Lord. All right, guys. This was a goofy episode of Inside the Mind of a Storm Chaser. Started off with tornadoes and him picking my brain to see if they were realistic or not, and then it transitioned to talking about childhood shows. But
tangents on podcasts are like go one and the same.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't go off on a tangent, then this wouldn't be a podcast.
Hey, if I'm being
honestly.
honest, we could probably just talk about D&D right now.
We could talk about anything. That's why we need to make a podcast that's not just this.
Yeah.
This is your thing.
Yeah.
We'll
Well-
make one where it's like just a general
Coming soon.
talking about
Coming soon.
shooting the. Take it away.
No! Ball up! Booyah!
Now you got to swerve on. Now break.
Make the pass cleaner. Whoa. Anyway,
Get us out of here.
get us out of here. Thank you guys so much for another episode of Inside the Mind of a Storm Chaser. I don't know what else to say from here. It was just a goofy episode. I mean, you got to see us in our element again. You got to. Okay.
I hate you. Look at your camera. I'm looking at my camera.
Okay. But yeah, again, it was just an episode of seeing us in our element, seeing us how we are. Him picking my brain, of course, learning the generic shapes and such of tornadoes and stuff like that, and just general goofiness altogether. So I just want to say thank you. You guys have a good day, and we're out. Wow.